Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode we did a few side quests around the Citadel, and this episode we're going to be taking care of some side quests involving the Geth and the armies they appear to be massing in the Armstrong Nebula.
Message coming in from the brass at Arcturus. Patching it through.
Normandy? Admiral Hackett here. We're getting reports of a marked increase in Geth activity in the Skyllian Verge. Surveillance drones have identified Geth outposts on 4 different planets in the Armstrong cluster. We need someone to take them out.
I'm on it, Admiral.
Finding Saren is still your top priority, but you've got experience fighting the Geth. You're the logical choice to take out these outposts. We're transmitting all the locations of known Geth outposts in the Armstrong cluster to the Normandy now. Admiral Hackett out.
So, like a number of these missions, you could have obtained it by, basically, if you obtain it like we did by checking a computer on Feros, then you still, when you go there, you still get the message from Hackett anyway, but kind of the one on Feros is saying, hey, look over there. So that's what we're going to be doing. There's 4 outposts in total, so we're probably going to be doing this for at least 2 episodes. I'm going to try and do 2 worlds an episode, but that's going to be interesting. So if this episode feels a little, not rushed, but accelerated, that's why. So in this system, there are only 3 planets, and basically we can scan this one, Pregel. While scanning the planet Pregel, you discovered several marker buoys orbiting it. Chief Engineer Adams secured some high-res optical images of the buoys, which appeared to have been neglected for some time. Each one was marked with a Baetica colony insignia. That's not an easy one to pronounce, but yeah, Turian insignia for the collection. And then the planet of interest is this one here, Magi. So let's land on it. It's another one of my absolute favourite looking world, so. Magi orbits the Vamshi binary giant stars. Vamshi A is a blue star, which burns at half again the temperature of Sol. Vamshi B is an aging red giant, over 220 times the size of Sol. In terms of a squad, it's going to be these 2, Tali and Garrus for the foreseeable future. Magi has a thin atmosphere of methane and carbon monoxide. The difference in temperature between the hemisphere facing the sun and the side facing deep space causes constant wind, stirring the silica and sodium dust of the surface. Unsavory characters from the Terminus systems occasionally use Magi for forms of cruel sport, dumping slaves, hostages, quarrelling shipmates, or even, when bored, vicious animals on the surface. One must kill the other before they will be rescued from the lethal radiation of the giant stars. Now, as you can see, Vamshi is a damn cool looking world, because it's got the kind of like binary system and stuff like that, but I'm going to try and accelerate through stuff fairly quickly on it. So we're just approaching now, you can see it about there-ish, is a mineral deposit. And if we survey this mineral deposit, it gives us a sample of thorium, which I'm 90% sure we already have, but oh well, you get like 6,000 credits for doing it, so can't hurt. Over here to the east are 2 anomalies. The first one has ancient debris here, which if we decrypt it, gives us a strange looking sensor which has some ancient graffiti scribbled on it. It appears to be marked with the Edessan colony insignia. So that's another Turin insignia for the collection. Then you'll see right next to us on the map is another point. So if we head over there, then in this pit we find one of the most bizarre things in the game. It's the odd skull. And if we check it, well, open it according to the heads-up display, this massive skull is scored by deflected mass accelerator shots. The xenobiology files in your hardsuit computer can't identify the species. It must have been brought here from an unknown world. Nope, nothing. And nothing is ever revealed on it. That's just remains a mystery to this day. So that's kind of mildly interesting. Anyway, over to the east, we find some rubble, which, as ever, means we can do electronics on the crash probe in order to gain some useful stuff for ourselves. And then finally, if we head up to the north, that's some kind of cool stuff. Head up to the north to the mineral deposit there. Then we find a sample of beryllium, which is another mineral which we have a ton of. I think that's our 4th or 5th beryllium sample. And that pretty much concludes our lightning-fast tour of Magi. Now the real kind of business we need to attend to is those 2 points which are up to the north and east of here. Now yes, I do realise that I said this was important business when it appears to be another mineral deposit, but as you can see from the map, it's also surrounded by bad men. So, first things first, let's do a flip. No, let's first survey the magnesium here. Then we can do something that's probably stupid and ill-advised. Get everyone to snipe her up. Well, obviously Tali can't, so let's just put her on pistol. I think we'll put her on snipers anyway. She's better than she will be on shotguns. And if you poke your little head over the top here, you can see Geth turrets. And indeed, you can quite safely take them out from this distance, and it gets you an absolute ton of experience. You might occasionally get shot, but you'll probably be fine, mostly. Just make sure you dodge out of the way in time. I think there's 4 or 5 turrets in total. I think there's 4 you can see from here, so I'm just going to take those out by the snipers and join you when I'm done. See, look at that. You get 435 experience per one you take out. It's brilliant. So there seems to be 3 that you can realistically reach from here, and as you can see, you kind of find the whole time. We've actually, I just realised during the course of that fight, we've actually owed Garrus some levels, so we might as well give him damping to unlock that, and electronics to unlock that. I brought Garrus and Tali both on this mission because basically the deal here is fighting Geth for the next couple of episodes, so I will bring those 2 because the kind of worlds basically mean that Garrus is good because he's got some stuff like sabotage and overload, and also he's really good with snipers, so for distance stuff like this, he's fantastic. Tali is great in terms of close range, so she kind of counters that, while also being amazing against Geth, generally, because she's got like AI hacking, as well as overload, sabotage, stuff like that. If in doubt, Tali and Garrus are my go-to like anti-Geth team, and they're brilliant for that. Oh dude, that's a cool shot with the twin suns in the background. Anyway, up here, as you can see on the bottom of the radar is, well, it's been jammed now, but you could see there's a kind of Geth outpost up here, and this is where our main business takes place. You can, like, get out of the Mako and fight these dudes on the ground, but it's much easier to fight them from the Mako, and you don't really get... You still get enough of a reward for killing them in the Mako. It's more worth it to spend your time using the Mako to kill those things down below. And they drop a Colossus in now. Again, with the Colossus, you can get out of it and fight it on foot. Might kill you. Will probably kill you, in fact, we'll rephrase that, unless you're good. Unless you have a team like mine, which can kind of are very good at... oh, he's going to shoot me again. Are very good at keeping Geth and kind of synthetic enemies pinned down. I'm going to do the thing just about well. I'm going to wait for him to fire that shot. Then I'm going to hop out, and we should just be able to finish him now and get a ton of experience for it. Everyone overload him! That wasn't quite as successful as I'd hoped it might have been. Explosion! Nope. Ugh.
1 down, 3 to go.
Dude, look at that. Ton of experience we got there. And look at that as well. 8 minutes in, we've taken out one of the bases. So, that means we're going to move on to the next one. So I will see you on the galaxy map in the Hong system next door. So, over in the Hong system, there's a couple of planets of interest. There is Matar, which we can scan. That means death, or to kill, or to die in Spanish. And if we scan it, scans of Matar reveal debris from a destroyed Asari freighter. Further scans uncovered a body, which was brought on board. Dr. Chakwas examined it, but learned nothing about its origins. Among the Asari's personal effects, however, was one of Matriarch Dylan Naga's writings. Haven't had a Matriarch's writing for a while, so that's kind of cool. And then down here in the corner is Traegir. Traegir? Not sure how to pronounce that, but either way, it's got some lithium on it. We've already got lithium up the wazoo. But anyway, the real part of interest here is Caspin. So let's go ahead and land on Caspin. Caspin is a classic pre-garden terrestrial world with conditions similar to those on Earth millions of years ago. Its hot, humid atmosphere is mainly composed of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. An increasing amount of the surface is covered by simple lichen and algae. Should no unexpected calamity occur, these tiny plants will change the atmosphere to an Earth-like nitrogen-oxygen mix over the next few millennia. Due to its potential for future habitability and sapient life, Caspin has been designated a sanctuary world by the Citadel Council. Landing is prohibited by law, and any disturbance of the fragile young ecosystem will result in harsh fines and imprisonment. At present, the planet is passing through the debris trail of a long-period comet. Now, as you can see from its kind of general geology and geomorphology, Caspin is an absolute bitch of a world to navigate, so this is going to be fun for me. You can just see on the edge of the radar is this first mineral deposit now, so that's where I'm going to head. Up this sheer vertical wall, that's going to be fun. See you there. Well, I'll be honest, that was considerably easier than expected. I basically just drove up the wall. Anyway, if we scan this here, we get a deposit of Samarium, not scan, survey, Samarium for the collection. And then I'm also just going to, because we got a level up at the end of the last thing, but I kind of forgot to do it. So I'm going to give myself first aid, because I've bitched about how my first aid when I'm not with certain squad members is terrible. Anyway, I'll give Garrus his point in agent. That just makes him better at snipey and shooty and various other things. And Tali can have basic armor, because she's a bit squishy. Now, to continue with our lightning tour of the Armstrong cluster, let's head over to the other mineral deposit, which is right next to us on the map to the east and north. Now, as you can see, as you approach this second mineral deposit, you will find that your radar is jammed. That's because there's a Geth base very close nearby as well. In fact, they'll probably start shooting at us soon. But there's kind of this little dell here, which is pretty much where the mineral deposit is, right at the bottom. There we go. There's a bit of uranium. So if we scan that, we can add that to our collection, though we already have uranium as well. And then, as you can tell from the radar jammer, the Geth base must be nearby. And indeed, it is that point just up to the north. So let's go and investigate that. Now, this is another one where, if you know what you're doing, you can handle it from a distance by sniping, and I'm actually going to do it this time, because it's actually, I find, slightly easier. Just make sure, where possible, take out the rocket troopers. Other than that, ow. I'm just going to do it off camera, because, ow, this will take a while. Now, once you've cleared the encampment out from a distance, head back into the Mako, and head down into the... Oh, we haven't actually cleared it entirely. There's one more sniper, let's take him out. Come on. There's one more sniper, let's take him out. There we go. And upon doing that, look on the map, there's a nasty thing. Indeed, a bloody Geth dropship comes in. Its health appears in the bottom, and you can kind of... it hasn't got any weapons itself. The only way it kind of defends itself is by summoning Geths, like shock troopers and stuff, on land. My advice is only focus on the Geth when there are no... on the dropship when there are no troopers on the ground, otherwise you would not believe how fast you can just get overwhelmed by these things. Keep a constant eye on the Mako's shields and your health within it, otherwise you will get creamed. Fire the occasional... Another tactic that works that I'm kind of doing here is fire the occasional, like, explosive shot up at the dropship itself, whilst using your minigun on the ground troops, which kind of works. Boop. Its health at the top, at the bottom there, it does go down fairly steadily, but you can easily get overwhelmed. Like we are losing quite a lot of health. I'm gonna move slightly. The other thing you can do is hide and just make sure you're in a place where you can shoot the dropship, but where it's kind of the ground troops can't get at you. Bit more of a shitty tactic, but it does work. And as far as I'm aware, it doesn't seem that your main gun, your kind of like Gatling gun, actually does any damage to the dropship. It only seems that only your kind of like high caliber explosive rounds have got the kind of velocity needed to damage it, which makes sense. But we've just about got it on the run now. And it's only been 12 minutes, man. Might easily fit 2 worlds into one level. Usually I do kind of like 1 episode per Uncharted world, but hey, maybe we can move on from that. Yeah, your shielding can help you there, sunshine. Whoop.
2 outposts done. We're halfway there.
Are we done? I didn't think I killed the thing, but okay, I'll allow it. There's also on this map, I haven't marked it on the map that you see, there is like another Geth outpost, which you can kind of fight your way through, but all that happens when you fight through that is then your squad mates say to you, oh, looks like this isn't the main outpost, go and do the other one, which is that one. So it's only the one at which the dropship appears is the one that you actually need to destroy for the quest, the other one you can ignore. Anyway, at the top of this big mountain in front of us is a mineral deposit, so let's head up that. General bit of advice actually quickly before this for this world as well is you can climb a vertical surface if it's got grass on it. If it's not got grass on it, it's going to be a bitch to climb, but grass stuff, the Mako can just about make it up fine, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, we're just about there, but I'll cut to being there anyway. And here we come across the deposit of a metal we have not yet surveyed. This is a gold deposit in our first one. We've not made much of an impact so far, mostly due to random chance, on the heavy metals. Like, we've got a couple of bits of palladium, and maybe some iridium, I'm not sure, but not much of the kind of 26 samples, I think it is, of heavy metals. So that's unusual, but hey. Right, now we're just going to head to the northern of the 2 remaining points, which is some debris. Now, to our right here, you can see the kind of decoy outpost, but we're not focusing on that. We're going to kind of the rubble straight ahead, and that is a brilliant shot of the kind of Caspian sunset. There are some seriously, like, impressive vistas in the kind of Uncharted worlds. It's one of the things I love about this game. You really get the idea, well, of me, and I definitely get the feel of, like, exploration, like you're the first person to have landed on this world, and you might have been the first person to see that sunrise, ow, or sunset. I can't actually tell which one it is. Anyway, there is some crash probe bits around here somewhere, so if I can actually find them, there we go. Well, I'm not sure why the point for it is there. If we can just salvage some useful upgrades and stuff from here. And then we can head along to the final point on the map, which is the anomaly to the south. And so here we find this beacon, and if we examine it, well, not just examine it, we have to actually recover on it, but we get something, of course, useful for doing this, which is Buried under the beacon, there was an identification tag for Captain Fiend. There's no indication of why it was buried here, or who hid it here in the first place. So, in a cryptic way, that's another kind of sign of battle for our collection, and that's us done on Caspian too, so... Dude, 15 minutes in, we've done 2 Uncharted Worlds. That's much faster than I expected it'd be. Wow, I guess it's kind of both. You'll have noticed on both Caspian and Margie, this could be fun. There was no, like, indoor section. Both the Geth bases were kind of outdoors. And of the remaining 2 Geth bases, one of them is outdoors as well, so I'm hoping I can get both of them done next episode. So, of course, that means we've got time to head back to the Normandy for a conversation with a squad mate, so I will see you there. And so, since he was on the mission, and since he's one of my favourite characters anyway, let's have a bit of a chat with Garrus to finish the episode off.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
So, on that note, I think we'll call the episode there. We've gone through 2 worlds in kind of trying to get rid of the Geth invasion force that seems to be attempting to mass in the Armstrong Nebula, and next episode we'll be going through the 2 remaining worlds, purging them of Geth that are trying to mass in the Armstrong Nebula. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of Mass Effect, and I hope you'll join me next time. I've been the Doctor. Good day. Said that all in the wrong order, but I don't care. Bye.